Trump announcement today, Apple's U.S. investment surge. Event. On August 6, 2025, President Donald Trump hosted an Oval Office event to unveil that Apple Incorporated is committing an additional $100 billion to U.S. manufacturing, raising its total pledge to $600 billion over 4 years. Barron's. +5. Time. +5. WTOP News. +5. The investment will go toward expanding domestic production facilities, including partnerships with suppliers such as Corning to manufacture all iPhone and Apple Watch cover glass in Kentucky, and increasing research and development, silicon engineering, and AI hiring, approximate 20,000 new American jobs. Barron's. +1. The administration is portraying the investment as a win for U.S. manufacturing, aligning Apple's strategy with Trump's tariffs and reshoring agenda. Barron's. +4. WTOP News. +4. MarketWatch. +4. Apple stock price, AAPL. Market reaction. Stock moves. Apple's shares jumped roughly 5 to 6% intraday, trading around $214 to $215 following the announcement. Barron's. +9. Investors. +9. Barron's. +9. Impact on markets. Apple's rally helped lift broader indices. The Dow rose 0.2%, S&P 500 climbed 0.7%, and the Nasdaq gained 1.2%, with Apple being the biggest contributor on the Dow that day. Investors. Analysts interpreted the jump not only as a boost to confidence around Apple's domestic strategy, but as a signal of potentially favorable tariff outcomes from the administration. MarketWatch. Broader business and investment implications. Reshoring and supply chain realignment. Apple's expanded U.S. investment aligns with Trump's push to reduce reliance on global supply chains, particularly China and India. This is a direct response to trade threats and tariff pressures while emphasizing domestic sourcing of critical components like rare earth magnets via partnerships such as with MP Materials. Barron's. +3. The Guardian. +3. MarketWatch. +3. Policy and regulatory context. The event occurs alongside President Trump's proposed executive order targeting debanking practices, arguing that major banks like J.P. Morgan and Bank of America have politically discriminated against him and his supporters by refusing banking services. The administration is preparing penalties for such alleged discrimination. Reuters.com. +1. Investment sectors to watch. Tech and manufacturing. Apple is now part of a growing list of U.S. tech giants, including NVIDIA, Oracle, and OpenAI, expanding domestic investment following pressure from the Trump administration. Investors. Tariffs and trade policy. Analysts expect new semiconductor tariffs to be announced soon. Apple's investment may be aimed at easing fallout if higher duties come into effect. MarketWatch. Barron's. WTOP News. Summary highlights. Key area insights. Announcement: Trump and Apple unveiled a $100 billion increase to Apple's U.S. manufacturing commitment, totaling $600 billion under Trump's reshoring agenda. Apple stock, AAPL, shares surged 6%, reaching $214 to $215, lifted S&P, Nasdaq, and Dow performance. Investment strategy reinforces reshoring theme. Apple is shifting parts of supply chain and R&D domestically to hedge against tariffs. Policy context coincided with Trump's executive moves against bank debanking and expanding tariffs, adding weight to investment decisions. Forward-looking considerations. Market reaction. Investors will watch how Apple's manufacturing rollout progresses. Will it deliver on jobs, cost savings, and tariff mitigation? Sector-wide effects. Other tech corporations may follow Apple's lead if tariff policy persists or expands. Political risks. The move reflects a synergy between Trump's political and economic agenda. Some critics caution about conflicts of interest and politicization of regulatory power. In short, today's Trump-hosted event marks a major pivot point in Apple's strategy and underscores the administration's broader reshoring and trade posture. Apple stock bounce reflects investor optimism that compliance may lead to more predictable regulatory and tariff outcomes.